Hi everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Sashay Away with Barry. And Happy New Year! Let me raise a glass to you all. I'm drinking seltzer water because it is 8:45 in the morning. And I went out drinking yesterday, so I need a little hydration. And it's early, and I have to go to work in an hour and 15 minutes. So, not a great idea to start drinking so early. But I'm going to have a sip of this because I'm a little parched. And welcome you all here. This video was supposed to come out last week, but it never happened. It's just a little recap of the year in drag, and I was going to put it out last week, but instead I went away and never got around to videotaping it. I was going to do it when I was in Austin, in the hotel room. Didn't happen. So here we are, and we are just... I don't even know what day it is. Hold on. It is the 6th. We are 4 days away from RuPaul's Netflix show, AJ and the Queen. So I hope you're all getting geared up for that. And let's just talk about this last year. First, I'm going to talk about the new bar that opened. It is the old Boots and Saddles, and it is now called Playhouse Bar. It is a drag bar down in the West Village. It is at the old Boots and Saddles location. They have completely remodeled it, and it is gorgeous inside. I went there yesterday for the first time. It opened at the very end of the year, and I was out of town. Like I said, I was out of town, so I didn't get to go. But I went to the Drink and Drag show. It is going to be a weekly show on Sundays. I don't really know what time it is because I thought it was supposed to be from 4 till 7. They didn't go on until about 5:30. They were all there and just geeking around with the audience. They were dressed. They were ready to go. The show just didn't start till 5:30. And that's it. But it is hosted by Shaquita and Bootsy LaFerris every week. Their official grand opening is next Sunday, so this was kind of they did 2 weeks of like previews to try and get it into what it's going to be. And they had special guest Sel Manila, who is one of my favorite new queens in New York City. I love her to death. She is a wonderful, wonderful drag queen, and she's going to be a star. That's all I'm going to say about that. But it's not, because there's more to say. After that, it was going to be Broadway all night with another drag queen who I didn't know. I saw her walking around, but I didn't know her. But I didn't stay. And that is after 7, and then they say all night. I don't know what that means, but I will be going to that at some point because I love show tunes, and that's all that matters. So I will be going to that at some point. They did announce that on Tuesdays from 8 to 10 is going to be a show with Marty Gould Cummings, Sal Manila, and Kiki Ball-Change. I will be going to that as well because I love 2 of the 3. I've never seen Kiki Ball-Change, but I'm excited to see what she does. And it's going to be fun. So that is Tuesdays from 8 to 10. That's the only schedule I really know. I haven't really researched who else is going to be doing weekly shows there, but it is all drag all the time, and I hope that you all go check it out because it's really a great space. I will be there many times, as I was with Boots and Saddles, so we're gonna have a good time. I'm excited for that. But let's get into the drag race. Sorry, I had to scroll up on my monitor. We're gonna start with All Stars 4 because that is how we started out 2019. And what I did, I just made some lists of my favorite moments from each one. And I'm going to start with Monet X Change winning All Stars. I'm not going to include Trinity the Tuck because I don't think she won. I think Monet won this and was the only winner, and I think doing a tie was kind of a cop-out. But I know why they did it. They say that Trinity won the season, Monet won that final episode. They needed to have a queen of color in the All-Stars, and so that, I think, is the reason why it all worked out that way. I don't agree with it. I think Monet completely won, and that's how I feel about it, and I'm happy that she won. One of my other favorite things is something that did not make it on the air, and that was Manila Luzon's tampon dress. They would not let her wear it. It was against like FCC regulations, I guess, because you're not allowed to show blood and in like a red form. Like even if you see a tampon commercial, they do it, it's the blue liquid. And so it was not allowed to walk down the runway, but she posted pictures of it and it was amazing. So shout out to Manila Luzon's tampon dress. Cheers to you for being a little controversial, and I love it. My last moment from All Stars 4 was Naomi's backbend. It was stunning. It was amazing. I don't think anyone knew that she could do that. And then when her hair just touched the floor as she kept going down, it was high drag at its best. I loved it. I love Naomi Smalls. So that's it. That's it for All Stars. Like I said, I'm not going into detail on all of them because this show would go on forever. But those are my 3 favorite moments from All Stars 4. Moving on to season 11 of Drag Race. Probably my most favorite thing. I'm not even going to do them in order. I'm just going to do them because I don't know which is my favorite. I loved Evie Oddly and Brooklyn Heights lip sync. It was one for the ages. It was a great, great lip sync. They both showed what they could do. Evie Oddly proved herself because everyone kind of discounted her. And I thought Evie Oddly won that lip sync. But they did both deserve to say. So it was well deserved. And that was to Sorry, Not Sorry, by that girl's name who's now left my head and all the gays are screaming at me. It'll come to me at some point. I just can't think what it is. You know. What is her name? Well, we'll come back to that. So Evie Oddly and Brooklyn's lip sync. Amazing that season. Also amazing, all the camp that Nina West brought to this season. Camp is my favorite type of drag, and I make no apologies for that. It is finally, I think, making a resurgence into Drag Race, and when Nina West is on All Stars 6, 7, 8, whenever she's on it, she's probably going to win. And I think it's inevitable. We got to see lots and lots of camp on Drag Race UK. And I think now that they know that it's a huge success, we will see more campy queens getting a break. And that bodes well for a possible season 12 contestant that I'm not going to get into because I don't talk about spoilers on here. But I think it might give her a little boost being a campy queen from New York City. So I love Nina's camp. I loved everything that she did. I'm a huge fan of Nina West, and I look forward to seeing more of her. She did do a controversial thing this year that she got a lot of backlash for, but I don't care. People make mistakes, and that's the way it is. And I think that was more of a TV mistake, not a personal mistake on hers. I think it was kind of a forced thing. That happened. And my last favorite thing, this probably is my most favorite thing of the season, was the Britney Spears infomercial that they did. It was so genius and probably the best thing we've seen on US Drag Race in a very, very long time. Spearheaded, of course, by Nina West. She carried that whole thing and it was done flawlessly and they deserve to win that. I don't know, did she win that challenge? I'm not sure. She deserved to win if she didn't. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. I've watched it numerous times, and one of the best things that Drag Race has ever put out. So bravo to the Britney Spears infomercial. That's it for season 11. That's all I'm talking about. We're going to move right on to Drag Race UK, which is probably my favorite season of Drag Race to date. It keeps changing as things get better and better. I loved Drag Race UK. These queens every queen had something special about her, even little Gothy Kendall, because she did Gothy Kendall, Gothy Kendall, Gothy Kendall, everything. I mean, they each had their own special thing going for them, and I loved them all. I did. I think coming up with 3 things was hard because I loved so much about it. I'm going to go for my third, which is much better. It became a worldwide sensation. Everyone is saying it. And Bag of Chips, you deserve all the credit you get for that because it is hysterical. And it turned out I mean, I don't know how much of it was planned for her to do that. I know it was one of the lines, but that she messed it up, and it came out as the funniest little moment that Michelle Visage ever had on Drag Race. But then when she said the line, it just floored everyone, and it was so good, and people are still saying it. So bravo, Bag of Chips. You deserve all the accolades. Another one also includes Bag of Chips and the current winner, the Vivian, and that is their Snatch Game performances as Margaret Thatcher and Donald Trump. They were both genius. It was only fair that they both won because it was hard to pick a winner. I think Donald Trump was probably just a little bit better, only because I'm not as familiar with Margaret Thatcher, but her Margaret Thatcher was genius. I don't know if any of you have watched this web series that they put out. I've only watched one episode. I don't even know if there's more. It is terrible. There is no need to... Oh, there is another episode, and I did watch it. They kept saying that they're going to have a guest, and it was going to be Kim Kardashian, I think. And of course, she never showed up. But it wasn't real. It was terrible. I probably won't watch any more of it. The characters are great for Snatch Game. They are not great for their own TV show. So sorry, that didn't work. But your Snatch Games were amazing. And my second favorite thing on Drag Race UK this season. My first favorite thing is, of course, and guess what? It also includes Bag of Chips. You'd think she's my favorite queen, but she wasn't. But it is the Frock Destroyers with their song BREAK, Break Up. Sorry, I needed a sip of water. This was Davina DeCampo, Bag of Chips, and Blue Hydrangea. And their song was phenomenal. It was so good. Everything about it worked. Their cheesy, simple choreography worked. It was great. It became a huge hit in the UK. I believe it went all the way up to number 2 on the charts. It beat out some pop star. I can't remember who it was, but they knocked her out. I don't know if they knocked her out of the number 1 spot, because I don't think it actually hit number 1. I don't know. But they did. It was an amazing song. They did a great job with it, and bravo to all 3 of you. So speaking of the UK, we did our little Instagram poll of all the top toots and bottom boots of the season, as voted on by my beautiful friends and loved ones. And so I'm going to go through those really quickly because I don't have pictures of them for you. Sorry. But I'm going to go through them we're going to start with the bottom boots. Bottom boots. In third place was Bag of Chips in her makeover challenge with her mother. This was, Liza Minnelli part 2 that she did, and it did not work for either of them. It was really, really bad. And she's not known for her runways, clearly. But this was really one of the worst things she ever did. So that was our third. She came in third. I don't know how to say the bottom, I guess. She came in really 7th because there were 10 looks. And then coming in second, our queen with the most bottom boots, Miss Vinegar Strokes. She was bottom boot every time she wore an outfit, and that included all 3 from the very first episode, which was her entrance look, her hometown look, and her Queen Elizabeth look. They all wore the bottom boots that week. And then every look after that. However, this one was for the not the makeover challenge. We already did that. And she wasn't there for it. This was for the look they had to make themselves. And she made that look out of the books. That was a disaster. I really thought it was going to be the worst look out there. But I was not allowed to vote. You don't know if you know that. I'm not allowed to vote in my own polls. They have to be done by outsiders, so I did not get to vote in these. I thought it was going to be the bottom. It was not. So Vinegar Strokes, with her crappy homemade book look, is number 2 on the bottom boots list. And number 1, this shocked me. It shocked me. Was Cheryl Hole in this little purple number. I don't remember. I think she wore it. I don't remember when she wore it. It might have been the week that Cheryl Cole, who is now Cheryl, was there, and she did it. It was store-bought. It was a mall dress. It wasn't... It was it was the worst that week. I get that. But I didn't think it was the worst look of the whole season. But again, I didn't vote. You all did. So you picked it. It's Cheryl Cole's little purple dress. I did criticize her because she wore the Amazon Fascinator that I have that is purple. So I know where she got it. So yeah, she went out to Forever 21, bought a cute little dress, bought an Amazon hat, and called it a day. So I guess laziness was her downfall that week. And she was the bottom boot of the season. Way to go. Let's move on to the happier notes, and that is our top toots. In third place it was really crazy because second and third looks all came from the same week. They were a tie the week we had our top toots, and they came in second and third. And the third place was to Miss Crystal in her Queen Elizabeth garb. I think it was the changing the guard look that she did. It was the red, gorgeous, like latex bodysuit, and it had this great hat. It was so cool. I'm happy that she made it into the top because I loved this look so much. And when she was one of the top toots, I was excited. But she also tied that week with our number 2, and that is Blue Hydrangea in her gorgeous coin. The coin! I love the coin. I'm so excited that she got into this as well because they tied that week for the top toot, and they came in second and third for the season with these looks. This coin look was immaculate. What she did was unheard of. I did think that Something Wong should have also been in there, but she did not get top toot that week. It was Crystal and Blue Hydrangea. But I'm going to give a special shout out to Something Wong's stamp look because it was just genius. But we're not talking about her. We're talking about Blue Hydrangea. So way to go, Blue Hydrangea. You came in second for the looks of the season. And our number 1 look of the season, Miss Davina DeCampo in her homemade look out of laundry bags. This look was stunning. It deserves every accolade it gets because she made it gorgeously. It was the pants and the little crop top, and then she had the red hair and the big stripe across her eyes and down her lips, which I have copied because I think it's genius. She looked amazing in this. The fact that she made it made it even more special. So congratulations to Davina Campo. You are our top toot of the season. Yes! I didn't bring out my buzzers because we're only talking about good things here. So I don't have that with me. But way to go, Davina DeCampo. I love this look. I'm so happy it got the top toot. And congratulations to you all. Now I'm going to move on to DragCon New York City, which I attended all 3 days. I'm going to say this. It is not the nicest thing, but DragCon New York was kind of a dud this year. It was really not great. There were some good things about it, but it was kind of lackluster. I will not be going next year if they have it in New York again. I have bought my tickets for DragCon LA, so I will be there in May. I will see you all there the May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. If you want to go out, have a good time, I will be there. I'm going to bring my my equipment and maybe talk to people at DragCon and get your perspective on things. I did buy the World of Wonder Presents Plus ticket. So I'm guaranteed entry to all of the World of Wonder video panels. So I'll get to see a lot of the queens, and I'm very excited about that. So yay, I will be there. I will see you there. If not, you will get a recap, maybe each day from there, just to kind of keep it up to date, so I don't fall behind like I did at the end of the year. But let's talk about DragCon New York City. My most favorite, I don't want to put these in order, but my most favorite thing was seeing the 4 girls from Drag Race Thailand Season 2 perform on the main stage. It was spectacular. I love Drag Race Thailand Season 2. I love Drag Race Thailand Season 1. And I hope I heard that it's being canceled. I hope not, because I really, really, really love this show. It is so good. You should all go watch it. It is available on the WoW Presents Plus app, so if you still have it from watching Drag Race UK, go and watch it. It is so good. You'll watch it with subtitles. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Half of them speak English in season 2, because it's divided between Thai girls and other Asian country girls. And so half of them speak English. So you get to see that as well. But their performances were fantastic. They were all really, really good. I have to give a special shout out to the winner, and that is Anjali Anong. I'm going to say her name wrong, just like RuPaul did when she won. She announced her name wrong. But Anjali Anong did a 12-minute Beyonce performance that was fantastic. I am not a Beyonce fan. I make no qualms about that. Thank you all. You can hate me. You can send me your hate. I'm not a fan. This performance was incredible. I've never seen anyone do a performance like this. I loved it. I thought it was great. So big shout out to her. The other queens that performed were Mocha Diva, Vanda Miss Jokum, who was my favorite queen of the season, and the other one whose name has now skipped out of my head. I can't think of it. There was another queen that performed, and they were all fantastic. So shout out to the Thailand queens. Way to go. I also really loved the judges panel, which was on the main stage this year. It was Michelle Visage, Ross Matthews, Carson Kressley, and Todrick Hall. And I've seen judges panel before, and it is fascinating to me to get their insights on it. I'm really only a fan of Ross Matthews on the judges panel, and that's fine. I think he is a great judge. I think Michelle is the villain for TV's sake. I don't think she really feels the way she does a lot, so she gets some flack for that. I think Todrick Hall is a terrible judge, and I don't know that I think he said he's not coming back. And that could be. He's had some problems this year as well with drag queens, so he may not be welcome there anymore. But it's fascinating to get their opinions and see how it works on their side. They took a lot of questions, and I really, really enjoyed it. So way to go, judges. I'm still watching. And finally, my next favorite thing is seeing Angina. Every time I go to DragCon, and this has been that was my third one, I see Angina and I take a picture with her, and we kiki and have a lovely time. And she is one of my favorite queens from all the way back from season 1. She was my pick to win. She did not win, in case you didn't know that. Spoiler alert, she didn't win. She is rumored to be on All Stars 5. We'll see. I think she's going to be there. It's about time she's been there. She should have been there the first time around. But I love Angina. She is just a ball of energy. She is funny. She is witty. She makes me laugh. I love her. So shout out to Angina. Love you very much. Loved meeting you. Loved taking a photo with you. Moving on to Thailand Season 2. I told you I loved this. I loved this season. It was so good. And I have to start out by giving a shout out. One of my favorite things are the two main judges, Art Aria and Panjana Heels. They are fantastic together. They get into drag for the runways. I mean, it is so good. They are great judges. They are helpful. I love that when they talk on the runway, the queens can hear them. They do not keep it quiet. Panjana Heels screams things out to them, and they react to it. It's so good. They're some of the best judges that you could possibly have. And Art Aria is stunning. She is an old queen from Thailand. I don't think she's trans, but she might be. But I don't think so. They haven't said that she is. And they are great judges. They only want these girls to succeed, and that is refreshing to me. Speaking of the girls, I have to give a shout out to all of them. They are all so special. the ones that leave early you don't get to see much about, so you don't know what they're capable of. But they're all, the way they do their looks is just fantastic. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time. I did find out that in Thailand, most of what they do is celebrity impersonations. And that is why Anjali Anand does Beyonce. She's like the premier Beyonce impersonator in Thailand. Who knew? Mocha Diva does Pink, and Pangina Heels does Mariah Carey. So impersonation is a big thing over there. That's what they come to watch. And so that's what the girls do. And I appreciate that. It's a special kind of drag. It's a drag that we don't see here in the United States on Drag Race at all, but it's a big deal that pretty much in any city you go to, there is an impersonation show, especially Las Vegas. They do them in Provincetown every summer. It's the Diva show. So it's out there. It just isn't widely known. I mean, you see Sharon Needles does Cher. What's her name? I can't think of her name. Derek Barry does Britney Spears. So I mean, there are queens out there that have gotten on Drag Race. But if you think of the whole number, that's 2 out of 120. Maybe we're up to 135 now. I don't know. I don't know what number we're at, but that's 2 out of them. That's 2%. And that, I think it's a little bit bigger than that. But if that's what you do, you're really not a Drag Race girl here in the States, because you have to be able to do everything. And if you only do one thing really well and nothing else, then that's what you're going to get. So a shout out to all the girls. I loved them. They were fantastic. And that moves me to my last favorite thing, and that is the runways. Their runways cannot be compared to any other runway. They put their heart and soul into these costumes. They get to go home and make them for a week, I think. I don't know, they have a week. They go home between challenges, so they have time to plot things out, I think. I think they actually have to make them at the place. Oh, they do, because someone brought something in one week and got kicked off for it. But their runways are immaculate. They're so good. They're so thought out. They are reveal after reveal after reveal. It was so good. They're so good. Just go and watch. I wish there was a YouTube of just the runways, and the American girls should be shaking because their runways are flawless. They're so good. So good. Go watch Drag Race Thailand Season 2. Watch Season 1 while you're at it. Season 1, I think, was just getting its foothold, and Season 2 kind of escalated that way, way up. Moving on to Dragula Season 3. I don't know how many of you are watching the Dragula. Watch Season 3. It is the best one. It is available on Netflix. I think they're all available on Netflix now, Season 1, 2, and 3. This was the only winner I agreed with so far out of 3 seasons. But that's not unusual. Even on Drag Race, I don't agree with a lot of the winners. So Dragula Season 3, they upped everything. It was on Amazon originally. Now it's all moved to Netflix. It is a great show. I am going to give a big shout out to the Drag King representation this season, who was also the winner. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Landon Sider was fantastic on this show. He did everything right. His looks were fantastic. His attitude was amazing. He is the nicest person. And then towards the end, you get a lovely story, like the sad backstory. And a big shout out to him. Congratulations to all of Dragula for having a drag queen. They also had an AFAB queen on there, and that is assigned female at birth. She goes by she, her, they, and them. I'm going to try to use they and them more because I am terrible at pronouns. But they are now non-binary, and I'm excited that they had an AFAB queen on there. I was not excited for this queen. She was a little too much for me. And that's fine. She's not everyone. You don't have to like everyone. But it turned me off. And it was the wrong queen to have on there, I think. It was very controversial. She was very controversial. And that I think was the big turnoff to me. They said a lot of things that I did not appreciate or like. It's a sensitivity thing, and it didn't work for me. But I'm glad that they were there. So shout out to representation, Dragula. You're winning the war. Next up is Madeline Hatter. She did not do great this season. She is a New York City queen. I have only seen her I've seen her twice at Bushwick. Bushwig. I said Bushwick. Bushwig. And she is amazing to watch on stage. She is even better to watch on TV. She made this show so much better with just her personality and who she is. She's crazy. And I loved every moment of it. So shout out Madeline Hatter. If they ever do an All-Stars Dragula, you should be there. You should go on Drag Race next. I hope the Drag Race people saw you on it and were like, oh, she good TV. Let's bring her on, because I think she would make an amazing addition to Drag Race as well. And my last shout out is going to be to Priscilla Chambers, who I counted out very early on and ended up being the queen that I wanted to win, because she was fantastic. She's a great drag queen. She's a great drag artist. She has a great story. She's a nice person for the most part. She had one issue with another queen on there, but Priscilla Chambers, you won me over. And that's what I appreciate most about drag, is someone, when I count you out and you win me over, you've done your job. I would go see you in a show, and I would enjoy it. That's it. So that is my top 3 moments from Dragula Season 3. Moving on, we're going to go talk about all of Drag Race for the next couple things. The next 4 topics are going to be about all Drag Race every season. And that is my top 5 queens. I am going to do these in order because I put them in order. And I had a tie for my 5th spot because I had a new addition. And so tied for 5th is my 2 campy queens of this year. And that is Miss Nina West and Davina DeCampo. I think these 2 queens are exceptional. They know what they're doing. They are seasoned queens. They've been doing it for a very long time. They are campy queens. They are hysterical. They have talent. They know how to put... Nina West knows how to put on a show. Davina DeCampo knows how to put on a show. They just know their shit. And I salute both of you because I think you are amazing, amazing queens. In my 4th place, so they were tied for 5th. Sorry, I picked 6 queens. My 4th place is the one and only Sasha Velour. I have nothing to say about her. To me, she's almost perfection. What she has done with drag and turned it on its head is phenomenal to me. I've been to several of her nightgown show, and I'm sad that I missed this last one on New Year's Eve. But again, I was out of town. Had I known she was doing a show, I probably would not have booked my trip because I enjoy the nightgown shows so much. They are everything that I want out of drag. You get burlesque, you get drag kings, you get trans performers, you get it all at a Sasha Velour nightgown show, and I just have to give her props for that. So she is in my 4th position. She has dropped one, and that is because of my 3rd favorite queen, and that is the one and only Ben de la Creme. I have loved Ben de la Creme since her season on season 6. I thought she would have been... I kind of knew Bianca was going to win, but I thought she was right behind her. Again, a campy queen, which I love. And she should have been in the top 4. She should have been in the top 2, if you ask me. But I think she is exceptional. She is producing her own shows. I will see every show she's ever done. I have seen every show that she's ever done touring. I haven't seen her in... I think she's from Seattle. Portland. One of them. Maybe Portland. I don't know. I made that up. I don't know. I think she's from Seattle. Not where Jinx is from. Who cares? So I've seen every show that she's toured with. I've seen a couple of them multiple times. And I just saw the Christmas show with her and Jinx. This is the second year in a row I've gone to the Christmas show. It is different every year, so it's not the same show. But Ben puts them all together. She writes them. She puts them all together. She chooses the songs. And then Jinx comes and shows up and does it with her. And they are amazing. She is one of the best talents to come out of Drag Race. And I am so excited that she is number 3 on my list of queens. Number 2 is Shangela Akwepa-Watley. I have loved her as well, even since season 2. I thought she was funny on season 2 when she went home first, and then on season 3 when she came and kind of took over the show, and then, of course, when she should have won All Stars 4 after that debacle of a mess. And now she's a movie star. Only great things are going to happen from her. I went and saw her show here at the Laurie Beachman years ago when she was on Drag Race. I think it was after season 3. She's an amazing performer. She has such high energy. I've met her at DragCon. I went and saw her out in Brooklyn. I would go see her show anytime because I know I'm going to get a good show. And that one in Brooklyn, I waited until like 3 a.m. before she went on. So that shows you how much I love her. But yeah, she puts on a show. It is a great show. It is fun. She's funny. She did the Big Apple Circus this Halloween, which I went to. She was the ringmaster and was fantastic at it. So again, Shangela, you have taken over my number 2 spot, and rightfully so. You deserve it. Of course, number 1 is the one and only Bianca Del Rio. I mean, I don't know that there is a better queen that has ever come out of Drag Race. When I heard that she was going on it, I was a little surprised that she even needed to be on Drag Race, but it has just skyrocketed her career. She has done so many amazing things. She made 2 crappy movies, both of which I saw. So that shows you how bad they were. I mean, they were not great movies, but I enjoyed them because she's in it and she's fucking funny. She gets to say things that other people aren't allowed to say because she's Bianca Del Rio. I've seen 2 of her live shows. I would love to go see her in London in Everybody's Talking About Jamie, because I think she is going to be amazing in it. I think they brought her back for a reason. She tours constantly, so if she is in your area, buy the ticket. I don't care how much it costs. It is worth it. You're going to have a great show. It is literally just her standing on stage talking shit about people. Anyone she knows, anyone she doesn't know, she talks shit about you. If you're in the audience, she's going to talk shit about you. So, Bianca, you are number 1, and no one has replaced you yet for me. So, way to go. I salute you all, queens. Now I'm going to move on to my top 5 lip syncs of all time on Drag Race. And I have 6 of these as well, because I couldn't decide. Because I wanted to throw this one in just as a kind of a bonus one. So this was really number 6 for me, but it deserves mentioning, and that is Coco Montrese with Cold Hearted Snake, when she points at her mouth and does the la, 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 I don't even know the words. But it is a magic. I love a lip sync like this. I think it is fantastic. I think Coco Montrese is by far one of my least favorite queens ever to be on the show. But her lip sync of this song was spectacular, and the pointing at the mouth won everything for me. So, way to go, Coco Montrese. You busted into my top 6 lip syncs. Next up is, I'm trying to put these in real order. Yeah, I'm going to do Monet Exchange and Dusty Ray Bottoms doing Pound the Alarm on season 10. What season were they on? 10. That was Aquarius season. Yes. Yes, it was. Aquarius season 10. Monet Exchange and Dusty Ray Bottoms doing Pound the Alarm. They did very different versions of Pound the Alarm, and I thought they were both fantastic. There were many lip syncs on this season that I thought could have been double Shantae's. This was the first one that I thought should have been. They both deserve to stay after this. It was so good. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, Monet did her fake out, and then she did it again later, and I was like, no, don't do it again. You did it once, it was good. But she did her fake out death drop. Dusty Ray Bottoms was just crazy because, I mean, she's doing a Nicki Minaj song and she is a white woman from Kentucky. So there you have it. But I thought the lip sync was fantastic. I thought they both deserved to stay. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So it is my number 5 lip sync of all time. Number 4 is going to be, as spoken before, Evie Oddly and Brooklyn Heights to Sorry, Not Sorry. I still haven't thought about who sang that, so if you know, keep it to yourself. I know you're all going to hate me for not knowing this. I could have looked it up and I didn't. But it was a great lip sync. When Evie did her wig reveal through the backflip, backbend, whatever she was doing, the walkover, and the wig just fell off, I was living. It was so good. And I have nothing else to say about it. It was a great lip sync. So that is my number 4 lip sync. Number 3 is Alyssa Edwards and Tatiana to Shut Up and Drive by Rihanna. This is kind of what kicked off the whole double lip sync extravaganza. They were both phenomenal in this. They were kind of almost mirror images of each other. It was bizarre how it was choreographed the same way when it wasn't. They were so good, so good. People will say this is the best one ever. I have reserved the top 2 slots for different lip syncs from older seasons. But this Alyssa Edwards and Tatiana is really, really way up there, and that is why it is number 3 for me. Number 2 for me is Latrice Royale doing Natural Woman. This was drag perfection for me, honestly. She was up there in her pregnant belly suit. Excuse me. In her pregnant belly suit. She didn't move the whole time. She just sang the fucking song and emoted so much. It is so moving, and that is why I placed it at number 2. Go watch this lip sync. It is gorgeous. You have Kenya Michaels dancing around like she'd never heard the song before. Kenya Michaels was weird during this, but Latrice Royale was just moving. It was beautifully done. It was drag perfection. And your number 2, Latrice Royale. Natural Woman, Latrice Royale. Season 4. Also from season 4, oh my god, is my number 1. And that is Dita Ritz doing This Will Be by Natalie Cole in front of Natalie Cole. I've seen this live. She did it live here at a bar. And it is still great. It is so amazing what she does with this song. I wish we could have watched the whole number on TV, because seeing it live, doing the whole number, it's even better. She knows this song. She probably does this song every time she does drag now, because that's what people want to see. It is so good and is so amazing, and it was probably the first lip sync that I really, really loved on Drag Race. There had been many before that. Again, this was season 4. It was early season 4. But it was so fantastic. I shouted out to you, Dita Ritz. You get very little credit for Drag Race. I don't know why you've never been back on an All Stars. Come back. I will see you. You come to a bar in New York. I will come see you there, because I think you are a fantastic queen. Again, I met her at DragCon in New York the first time. She is a wonderful spirit, a wonderful soul. Living it up in Chicago, doing her thing with the Black Girl Magic Girls. Dita Ritz, you're my number 1. I loved it. I love this lip sync. It will remain number 1 for a long time for me. Thank you. I did a list of my 5 favorite songs from Drag Race. I'm just going to go through these quickly because I almost left it out. Starting at number 5 is Super Queen, but only Monet's verse. I thought this Super Queen song was catchy, it's fun, but Monet's verse was fantastic in it, so I loved that. Going up the ladder is Baddest Bitches in Herstory. If you don't know this, it is from All Stars 2. It starts off with Alaska as Eve, and then all of the queens are other powerful women from history. It's great. Download it. You get all the extra verses of the queens that were eliminated that had to do them as well. So I appreciate that. So you get a little extra. It's a fun song. I highly recommend it. Moving up the ladder to number 3 is Read You Wrote You. Probably what a lot of people will say is the best song ever to come out of Drag Race. I love it. It's great. But it's not my number 2 or number 1, because number 2 belongs to Kitty Girl, which I think is the most perfect song from Drag Race. I think it's done really well. The one that the drag queens did, it was the top 4 from All Stars 4, Shangela, Kennedy Davenport, Bibi Zahara Benet, and the winner, Trixie Mattel. It's a great song. It makes me happy every time it comes on my iPad. Every time it comes on my playlist, I get excited to hear it. It just makes me happy. But my number 1 is Breakup from the Frock Destroyers. I mentioned it earlier. I love this song. I will listen to it constantly if I have to. It is just really, really great music, and that shows. I'm going to go through my favorite seasons, and this is the top 5 of my favorite seasons. A lot of you will not agree with me, but that's fine. But I think most of you will understand what I've picked. My number 5 is season 1. People give season 1 a bad rap. It was kind of, they call it the pilot season, and that's why it was the lost season for so many years. But this is what started it all. It was a great season. It had some interesting queens on it. I like going back and seeing how pedestrian a lot of their looks were. But they started off, they are the OGs. There are some great queens to come out of season 1. And hopefully we'll get to see some more on All Stars because they deserve it. Next up is season 4, and that is the season that Sharon Needles won. I think Sharon Needles changed the face of drag. I believe she called herself the future of drag, and she is correct. This was the first season I picked the winner from the Meet the Queens videos. I saw Sharon Needles and I was like, that is an interesting queen, and I want to know more about her, and I want her to win. And I picked her to win, and she did. It very rarely happens that I pick a winner, especially from just the Meet the Queens videos. Next up is season 5. We're moving up the ladder. This is my 3rd favorite, season 5, and that is with Alaska and Jinx, the Alaska Talks. It also had Alyssa Edwards. It had Coco Montrese. It had J. Jolie. I think this was the season of Serena Cha-Cha. I don't know. Maybe not. But this is kind of where Drag Race really took off. It became a reality TV show, and this is where people were starting to catch on that it's a great show. Moving up to number 2 is All Stars 2. Many will say this is the best season of Drag Race ever. I am not one of those people because the one that holds the most in my heart is season 6. I think season 6 had the most talented queens on it. There were, if you take the top 5, top 6 even, and put any of them on another season, they all could have won. And that is basically how I feel. So season 6 is clearly my favorite season of all time. That could change in a moment. Because UK is probably up there as well. I just didn't want to give it all the credit in the world. But I think it's up there. And we'll see what season 2 has in store for all UK. It may top the list next year. Who knows? But right now I'm stuck on season 6 because it is, I think, the perfect season. I'm going to give you a little bonus because I've been seeing some theater lately and I haven't talked about theater in a while. So I'm going to talk about it, and I saw 3 shows, which were really 5 shows because 2 of them were 2 parts in the last 2 months. And starting with Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I won the lottery for this. Try that lottery, win it. The seats are not great. You are at the top of the theater. But it doesn't matter. This show, the only way to really describe it is magical. And I know that sounds stupid and cliche, but it is magic happening on stage. It is so good. The acting is amazing. The fact that they do this choreography to change the scenes is stunning to me. There are so many capes being flipped around. It made me want to put on one of the cloaks and join them. I love the show. Both parts were fantastic. When part one ended and there's no curtain call, it just says to be continued. You want it to start immediately. But I didn't see them on the same day, so I had to wait a whole day for the next one. But it was so good. I highly recommend it. Get your tickets and go see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Next up is The Inheritance, another 2-part show. And each one is 3.5 hours long. It is long, it is an investment, and it is worth every moment. It is beautifully done. It is stage perfection, in my opinion. There's no set. They are doing all of the action themselves. There's nothing needed because what they're saying is so powerful and so beautiful. And it's a great story, and it is a piece of gay LGBT history being performed for you. It is so, so good. I cannot recommend it enough. Again, it is a long investment. If you only want to do part one is clearly the better part, but I enjoyed both. I cried a lot during both shows. So go see The Inheritance. It is beautifully done. It is magic, and it is special. And my favorite show from the last few months is Jagged Little Pill, and this is based on the music of Alanis Morissette. Mainly Jagged Little Pill. There are some other songs from other albums thrown in there, and she wrote a new song as well for it. But it is not Alanis Morissette's life story. Don't go expecting that. It is an actual story that her music is just a part of. And it works perfectly. I call it the woke musical because it has every social justice kind of thing in it, and it all works together. It is so good. The music is fantastic. Get the cast recording. It is wonderful. I can't stop listening to it, and I can't recommend it enough. It is fantastic. I will be going to see it again, so I'll see you there. Go see Jagged Little Pill. It is fantastic. And that's all I have for 2019. It was a really, really good year for drag. What I'm looking forward to in 2020, I'm excited for AJ and the Queen. I think RuPaul is a terrible actor, so I'm not expecting a lot from that, but I think that the show might be really, really good. So I'm going to be talking about it on here, so check it out. We'll be talking about it weekly, hopefully, starting this week on the 10th. I'm also excited for Playhouse. I went to it yesterday for the first time, and I'm very excited. Boots and Saddles was my home bar here. I went pretty much every week, sometimes more than once a week. And it is all drag all the time, and I am so excited that someone has finally taken over the space after it closed like 2.5 years ago. It's been gone for a long time, so I'm happy that something is back. They remodeled it. It is gorgeous inside. It has an amazing stage. It was cold in there, so bring a sweater. But I'm very excited for what's to come there because I love a place that I can just go see drag anytime I want. And last thing I'm excited about is in 2019, I bought hip pads, butt pads, and boobs. Oh my! And I'm going to wear them this weekend. I'm very excited. It's going to be my first showing. I've worn the boobs before, but I've never worn the hip pads. I did wear the butt pads once as well. So the hip pads are brand new, so they are going to make their debut this weekend. I will post some photos of it on the Instagrams if you want to follow me there. So I'm excited. I'm excited to wear them. And that's all I got. Again, on my social medias, you can follow me on Instagram at therealbarrybrown. That's Therealbarrybrown. I do polls when the seasons are on of the Toots and Boots of the Looks, so you can play along with that when we do them. I have a Facebook page called RuPaul's Drag Race Sashay Away with Barry. You can follow all my drag exploits there. That is where everything gets posted. If you want to follow me personally on there, you can friend me. It is bhbrown13, BHBROWN13. I'm on Twitter at the same handle, bhbrown13. I don't post much there. You're not going to get a lot. But you're welcome to follow me. I don't turn anyone away. And you can catch me if you're watching this. Great. It has also been turned into a podcast, which is kind of where most of the streaming is going to be happening going forward. I think the videos are going to be phased out. Sorry. There will be some special ones that I drop in there, but most of it is going to be podcast only. You can find me on all your podcast stations now. It's done through Anchor, so you can find me on Anchor, you can find me on Stitcher, you can find me on Google Play, and you can find me on iTunes. That's right, I have been approved for iTunes, so my podcast is up on iTunes. Go check it out. It's just the audio of this video right now, but again, it will be in podcast form going forward for the most part. Starting this week with AG and the Queen. We're going to have some guests come on, we hope, if anyone wants to come on. So check it out. I will have links to the podcast in the show notes. I'm getting ready to launch my website, which will have all the content on it. So be prepared for that. It is coming, folks. It's coming. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for listening to all my lists. Please like this video, share it with people, and put your comments in there. Let me know what all your favorites were. I gave you a ton of content. So let me know what your favorites are from 2019 and the entire season of Drag Race. That's all. Happy New Year. I love you all. Bye.